Hello everybody, my name is George and I'm doing this together with my friend Kenzo. Kenzo is in Santorini now, he lives there. We are doing all-around life coaching, giving seminars and lessons, but in our life coaching we're mixing hypnosis, NLP and all kinds of problem solving, good stuff. Anyway, the reason we're here now is to make a video about ORMUS. I'm not going to go into explaining you what ORMUS is or what good it does to us, because if you would not know what ORMUS is, you would not be here looking on a video how to make ORMUS, right? That's right. Okay, ORMUS is scientifically proven helping, but of course it is very spiritual. So it's very important how you feel, in what state you are when you're making ORMUS. ORMUS is in a zero state. That means that it attracts any kind of energy. So it's good. I don't know if you can hear it, but I've put on some energetic music. I believe I am in a calm and positive energy state today. It's also good if you can put some gold, diamonds, metals, anything that pulls. Diamonds pull good energy. Also, I've printed the flower of life, on which I'm going to put my jar. The power of life pulls energy, and it's also advisable to store your ORMUS on the flower of life. You can just print it with your home printer or any kind of picture or whatever. Anything that can pull good energy. So the reason I'm doing this video actually is because looking on YouTube and on the internet and everywhere how to make ORMUS, there is so much, a lot of ridiculous stuff out there. Like people take a jar, put in some sea salt, put in a spoon of lye, and just let it set and you have your ORMUS. It doesn't really work like that. It's simple, but it's a little bit more complicated. And I want you also to understand how we create ORMUS. So, everybody swears on the Dead Sea salt. It's one of the most potent salts. Much more potent than the Himalaya salt, pink one, which gives it also pink color. We got the Dead Sea salt. There's a lot of fake Dead Sea salt on the market. What you can do to see, you just try a little bit and accept that it's very, very salty. Beyond saltiness, it has a very, very strong flavor. You will know it's the right stuff. It has a very strong flavor, like herbs, like very worldly flavor. So Dead Sea salt, I'm definitely going to put into my ORMUS. Today, since I'm gonna show everybody how to make ORMUS, I want to try something really different, and I'm gonna put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different salts in it. I got 7 or 8 because I put my Epsom salt away. Epsom salt is very good, but it's magnesium sulfate. And sulfate creates sulfate, and that is not always good. So I'm going to put a really minimum amount of Epsom in it. Usually it's said to put between 150 and 200 grams of salt per liter. I'm going to keep it around 170. So I'm going to make 4 liters of ORMUS today. So roughly it's going to be 680 grams of salt, of different kinds of salt. On advice of my good friend Kenzo Santo, I'm also adding magnesium chloride hexhydride. Chlorine magnesium. Magnesium is good for all of us. All of us need it, if it is for cramps, if it is for the brain function, if it is for anything. And this magnesium chloride hexhydride is actually also a salt. So I'm going to put a little bit of that also in it as a salt to make it more potent. The quality of of Ormus is measured in how many ppm it has, so how potent it is. You can find the internet devices that measure the ppm, and with that you can measure the potency of your Ormus. Okay, so let's start with the salt. You don't have to put so many salts in it. You can just stick with Himalaya salt. It's not too expensive. Mind you, don't buy cheap Himalaya salt in some supermarket that you don't know what it is, because unfortunately some people take salt, color it pink and sell it as expensive Himalaya salt. The best way to find it is in some biological shop, some health shop, different things. But make sure it's a real one. So you could basically, I'm just trying to calibrate my scale in the meantime. Yes, so you can basically just use Himalaya salt, nothing wrong with it, or any salt basically. But the variety of salt gives different minerals, and that's what Ormus is all about. The salt observed pulled basically the minerals for thousands and thousands of millions of years in it, and in Ormus, with a higher pH above 10.6, it breaks up the minerals in a different state and releases the Ormus, releases all the good of the earth and our universe that's collected in these salts. So, what I said before, I'm going to make a special Ormus today. I'm going to add many, many different salts. Some of them maybe you haven't even heard about. So I'm going to put the Epsom salt. I'm going to put the Dead Sea salt. I'm going to put my friend Kenzo's idea, the magnesium salt, Himalaya salt. Then I'm going to put the Mediterranean salt, because I don't know if you know, but I'm on Crete, and of course everything best is in your home always. So our Mediterranean Sea is supposed to have the best sea, and this one is called Anthos of Mediterranean sea salt, which means it's the highest quality of this salt that is found. It's basically cooking salt, but it's Mediterranean salt. Okay. Then I found the blue salt of Persia. It's not really blue, some blue particles in it. The blue salt of Persia is actually supposed to be a little bit sweet in it. They use it for desserts in the good kitchen, caramelizing things. It's a special salt, but the point is from Persia. I didn't take it because it's the most expensive salt there is. It is actually. But because from Persia. And I'm trying to have salts from all over the world actually. So the minerals from our planet are not the same everywhere. So I'm trying to get salts so I get different minerals, make the Ormus more potent. Then I got salt of the desert of Kalahari. No need for explanation for that. Kalahari desert salt. Then I've got myself black salt of Hawaii. I could tell you stories about it, but I don't really know what it is. It's just said black salt of Hawaii. It is really from Hawaii. The place I'm buying it from on the internet. It's a very trusted source. Wow. You know, all these salts are salty, but all these salts have a different flavor, different structure around them. It's amazing. So black salt of Hawaii. Then I got another black salt. It's called Black Pharaoh Pyramids of Cyprus. It's 28 euro kilo. So it's black salt from the pyramids of Cyprus. Gonna go in our Ormus too. Once again, you use the salts you find. You can experiment with it. Okay, that's the salt, that's the salt. So that's it. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 different salts. Okay? So we said about 680. So that is about roughly 75 grams per salt, right? 750, 608, something like that. So first I'm gonna measure my salts together, and I'm gonna put 75 grams. No, the Epsom salt actually. Something is wrong with my scale. The Epsom salt, I don't want to put too much because I'm a little bit worried about the sulfate. So I'm just going to put like 20 grams. And I'm going to compensate with that sea salt at the end, which is, I think, one of the best salts that is for this. Himalaya salt, I'm going to put 75 grams. So I'm going to 95. Of Himalaya salt. Then, Kenzo, here goes your salt. The magnesium. The magnesium, I'm also going to put 75 grams. It doesn't have to be to the milligram for everything. Ormus is a white, but let me mix the salt, and while I'm mixing, I'm going to talk to you because it's going to take time. Persian salt. Again, 75. If you use seawater, that's sea salt 75. If you use seawater, if you use seawater, you should cook the water first. All of the Lier is going to kill all bacteria and anything around it. Kalahari salt. It is good to boil it first for a while. Now I'm not using sea salt, I'm using seawater. I'm using water from reverse osmosis, which is actually bringing the water to a state of zero. They use it in hospitals, in clinics, in neurodialysis clinics. It's the most pure water. It has a pH, I think, of 5.7. So putting my black furrow of Cyprus. Okay. And my black Hawaii salt. And last but not least, our Cretan Mediterranean good old kitchen salt. That's a lot of salt. Some people ask me that they have, because they have high blood pressure, if it's good to take so much salt. The salt is going to be washed out. The Lier is going to break the minerals out of the salt, and then we're going to wash it out. Also our, that's the right salt. Also our sodium hydroxide, some people worry about it. Sodium hydroxide is actually, baking soda is made from it. It's also not good to eat like this, but the sodium hydroxide brings up the pH. So once again, at 10.6, the minerals open up and get atomically restated and let all the good of Ormus come out. pH over 10.78 is not good. So Ormus, the pH in preparing Ormus should be between 10.6 and 10.78. 10.78. Up to 7.8. Don't put on 7.8. There's absolutely no need to go to 10.78 and to risk it, because it's also fluctuating a little, the pH always. And I wouldn't risk to go to, there's no reason to risk that it goes to 10.8 or something. 10.6 is fine, 10.7 is good. 10.78 is on the edge, there's no need to go there. So, I have heated, before I started this video, some water, for no other reason than to dissolve the salts easier. Okay, but there are some rough salts in here. So what I want to do just grind them a little bit, so it gets dissolved easier. So the water, what I use now is because I want to make the perfect ORMUS today for you. I used reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis you achieve with some home filters you can put. Mine I got from a friend of mine who owns dialysis clinic here on Crete, and it's the most pure water there is. Distilled water is fine. Spring water, they say it's fine. Make sure the spring water to boil a little bit because there could be some bacteria in it, something. And although all bacteria once again get killed in here, the dead bodies could cause you some discomfort because they don't dissolve, they kill the bacteria. Okay, first portion on the go. Surprise, surprise, it's gonna be black ORMUS. Of course, black prevails. So if you have thick salt, grind it a little bit down. I'm gonna save time, I pre-grind it actually a little bit, the rough pieces. And there it goes. Okay. Let's see if our blue or pink is gonna change something. And it needs steering. It needs a lot of steering. The problem there may be now with the black water is that you cannot see so clear after 8 hours how the ORMUS settles down and how the water is going to be up, but I believe it's going to clear up and we will be able anyway. The whole process of steering can take 5 minutes, can take 25 minutes. You just keep steering until you reach the total dissolving of the salt. So I want to tell you a little bit about what we do, and also our Facebook site. If you have some questions, I'm also going to give you my email at the end. Kenzo you can find on Kenzo, K-E England, N November, Z Zulu, O, Kenzo. Santo from Santorini, S-A-N-T-O, Kenzo Santo, because lucky guy lives in Santorini, what can we do? Not that I'm bad on Crete. And my Facebook is all-round life coach. So what we do with Kenzo is basically we help people with problems that are multi-leveled. Like some problems can be solved with NLP, some problems can be solved with hypnosis, some problems can be solved by a good old psychiatrist, some problems can be solved by a dietitian, really. A lot of problems can be solved by ORMUS. What we do is we studied over the years different techniques, and we keep on studying and we keep on evolving and developing ourselves to find the most complete phasma of therapies available. Except that we help people with different kind of problems, we also give seminars all over the world, teaching people how to solve their problems. They can be on a level of improving the memory, of stopping smoking, of getting rid of old problems, of deblocking neurological blockades which are there for ages and that keep us from remembering the way we want to remember, our memory, because there could be some blockages from the past. Other things we only can reach through hypnosis. Takes a lot of steering. I'm going to add some more water because most of it is dissolved now. Hopefully it will get more clear to reach my 4 liters, because I just put a little hot water before to dissolve the salt. The salt's more easy. And there's our 4 liters. We also see a lot when after 8 hours then the ORMUS settles down, and for the first washing you subtract the water that is on top. The first water is very salty, you basically can throw it away, put it back in the ocean, or you should not use it for plants. From the second washing on, you can use it for your plants, for your animals, for anything. It's good. The third one is perfect. But what I see, as I said, so after 8 hours about, the Ormus will settle up until about here. The rest will be water. So you have to subtract the water. You just take a plastic pipe, suction, or with a soup spoon, you take the water out. And I see people taking with a searing the last drops of water out of it. It's a little bit exaggerated because we're going to wash it again anyway. It doesn't matter if it stays something. The idea is to wash it, to get the lier out, to get the salt out, the rest of the salts which are not needed for Ormus, to wash our Ormus. And since we do this 2, 3, 4 times, it's not really necessary to get to the last drop, really. In general, Ormus is a feeling thing. It's not really to the gram, like I said before, so many grams of this, so many grams of that. It's a feeling thing. It takes energy. It takes energy. It gives energy. It's all about energy. Ormus is a product of alchemy. So we just keep steering it. And now we get to the point of the pH. Very important to calibrate your pH meter. Usually they are pretty good on the point, but only 0.3 off. But if you want to have 10.6 and you think you have 10.6, but with an uncalibrated pH meter you will have 10.9, it could be a problem. So make sure you calibrate it. You have, with all meters, you have some solutions which make of any water pH 686, calibrate it. Then another solution of pH 4, you calibrate again and you put it in. Now our salty stuff as we have it now. By the way, this magnesium chloride puts the pH down. Plus that my water, the reverse osmosis water, is very low pH. So we have a low pH here now too. It got up to 7. Okay, so we're going to stabilize the pH meter here. And we're going to get ready for our lier. It is advisable to always wear gloves, sometimes even mask, goggles. If this stuff gets on your hand, it's uncomfortable. It doesn't kill you, it doesn't make holes in your hand, but it gives an itchy burning feeling. Always have some white vinegar at hand. It neutralizes the effects of the lier, and just put it over your hands and you're fine. But always wear gloves. I'm not wearing it because I have done it so many times and I just know what I'm doing. When you make it also, the lier you make, it's very, very important to always add the acid to the water, not the water to the acid. Because if you put the acid in here, you throw some water in, the acid reacts and they can shoot out. They can shoot in your eye, they can shoot in your skin, they can shoot anywhere. Always add the sodium chloride, the sodium hydroxide to the water. Also, if you make it, either make it outside or make it under the hood of your oven, so the fumes don't reach your system. They're not really pleasant. So basically, it always goes up until 9.5 about, very, very easy. And then it hits the barrier. The barrier with 9.5, 10, it's where all the magic happens. It resists to the pH going up. That's why you have to add it drop by drop, because you can think, it doesn't go up anymore, and you put more, and suddenly boom, it jumps after it breaks this barrier. I put a generous shot in it, as you've seen, and I went up to 941. I'm going to put another generous one in there. If it gets too high, let's say if it gets over 1078, you can put vinegar in it to lower it. You can put the magnesium in it to lower it. I would say the cost is not so high to risk it. I would just throw the patch away and make a new one. Because as I said, over 9.78, bad things happen. You don't want it to go up there. And once bad things happens to a sacred thing like Ormus, I don't know how the Ormus will end up after you reverse it, you know. There's no reason to take a risk. And it's very, very important to keep steering while you put the Lier in there, because the pH can be affected topical. That means that if you just put it in and don't steer it, this area here can go up to 10.8. Because if I put this in such a little water, in just a handful of this water, it's going to go sky high. So if I put the Lier in the water and don't steer it, it can be locally and have a very high pH. And if we get locally high pH, and in this locally area, the pH is going to be high, and we have a little bit of bad things mixing with the rest of the Ormus. That's why we keep on steering. You see, now it went down instead of up. It's a really weird thing. Until it reaches about 9.6, it goes up, it goes down. It's weird things happening. There was a lot. That's going very slow. Now I'm at 9.5. And especially with the magnesium in there, it resists more to go up. So adding, and steering, very important to steer. Six, 9.48. 9.48. And boom, it jumps to 10. Did I put too much? No, I didn't, because it goes down to 9.6 again. This is normal, don't worry about it. There's some energy keeping this healing Ormus in the mineral, some energy we don't want, and this is what we use it here for, to actually break this. Just keep steering until you create some kind of vortex in there. It was at 10 and it went down to 9.49 again. Unbelievable. $10.2, 9.7. $9.55 again. It's good when you storage your Ormus after, or when you keep it to settle. Take your wife's diamonds, take some gold, take some crystals, any kind of good crystals you have, put them around there. You can put even a picture of your deceased father, if he's deceased, and if he was a good man, and if you want his energy in there. You can put icons anything that pulls for you good energy. Me myself, I don't know if you see all these icons behind me, I'm a Christian, Greek Orthodox Christian, by the way. But that doesn't mean that I'm fanatic about it. I've read all possible religions I could find. I read a lot about Buddhism. I read parts of the Quran. I read the Judaism. I got myself into many religions. I don't want to make this religious, just want to give you my personal opinion on it, but I believe that the Bible says God created us to His image. Who is His image? You, me, everybody. So God is in all of us. And it also says, ask and you shall receive. Who do we ask? In the open, I believe that God is in our subconscious. The difference between the conscious and subconscious is that conscious can register about 7 plus minus 2 things. Like my tongue touching my teeth, me standing on the ground, my hands feeling the spoon, myself talking and listening to it. The 7 stops. The subconscious has unlimited perception points. And that's why we always also better learn in our subconscious. We get in some kind of trance, some kind of hypnotic state. And if we meditate and we get to our, we kind of switch our conscious off and make our subconscious listen, then we can ask things from ourselves. Like you can put yourself in a trance and or just meditate. Put yourself like really in touch with your subconscious and consciously ask your subconscious, I will have a better, tell your subconscious, you will give me a better memory. You will make me succeed in life. You will take these fears away from me. And the subconscious always replies to you. The subconscious' main purpose is to keep you safe. Subconscious always keeps you safe. And it wants whatever is best for you. That's why you don't have to be afraid in hypnosis that they will tell you go kill yourself or do something bad to yourself, because the subconscious will not let that happen. It's always in a stage of alert, of protecting you. Okay, I guess I gotta make some more, yeah. Okay, just give me 1 second and make some more, yeah, and I'll be right back. So here I am again with my new lié. You know, when you make lié, it becomes extremely hot. It becomes so hot you can't even hold the glass. It's blurry. It soon becomes clear and it cools off. It's ready for use. This lié I made for the purpose of this video mainly a bit stronger. The ideal solution is 1 to 8. Like 10 grams of sodium hydroxide on 100 milliliters of water about. What I do sometimes, what I did in the beginning a lot, I had 2 different bottles. One with a solution 1 to 8 and one with a solution 3 to 8. So I first use the strong solution until I break the barrier, and then for the fine tuning I use the solution 1 to 8. So since this one is strong, I'm not going to pour it in. I use a syringe of 5 milliliters. And I will start stirring again. Mind you, you will not have so much difficulty going up without the magnesium chloride, hexadide, magnesium chloride, because magnesium chloride keeps the pH down. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing to keep it down. Okay, so now I created my vortex, my inner vortex in my Ormus, and I'm gonna add milliliter by milliliter. another thing is that I see a lot of these videos on YouTube how to make Ormus, and these guys make the oven and say, oh, every 8 hours you must wash it, you must change the water, and they make it like I don't know, 7, 8 in the evening, and they get up at 4, 5 at night and sleep and I gotta wash my Ormus. There is no 8-hour rule. You can change it after 4 hours if you want. You can change it after 48 hours if you want to. The less hours you let it settle, the more frequent you have to wash it. And because in alchemy there's a magic number 3, and all good things are 3, I don't want to wash it more than 3 times. I don't want to wash it more than 3 times, so I let it set longer. Like now, for example, it's 3 something here in the afternoon, so after 8 hours will be 11 at night, right? Yes. 11 at night, I usually go to sleep around 1, so I'm going to change it then. Or if I see how it settles not to my satisfaction, I'm just going to go to sleep. And tomorrow morning when I wake up, 8 o'clock or something, I'm going to change it then. And that's in 17 hours. I think I'm going to do that, yes. After 17 hours, it's going to be nice and settled. So after 17 hours, I'm going to take the upstanding water away. I'm going to add, again, fill it up again with water, stir it again real good. Some people say, we just put the spoon in, turn it around 1 time, it's done. No, because the molecules of the water absorb the minerals. And each molecule can only absorb a certain amount of minerals. That's also why it's no use to put too much salt in it. Because full molecule is a full molecule. Okay, we're getting there. So I'm going to change it after 17 hours. Then I'm going to change it after another 14, 15 hours, like tomorrow late in the evening. And then 12 hours later, the next morning, I'm going to make the final wash. Now from the final wash, I always keep the water. I use it for my plants, I use it for I mix it, I don't put it pure, I put it with more water and mix it. I use it for my hair skin, or for, I don't know, for anything you can use it. You can even drink this third one a little bit and it will be quite Ormusy. Okay. Now mind you, before, when you wash before putting the lien there, I put 250 milliliter in there. Now I'm putting it 5 by 5 because I don't want to overshoot. Because with all these good salts in there, I don't want to be forced to throw this portion away. And you will not very often see black Ormus. That's because of the 2 black salts I put, the Hawaii salt and the Cyprus pyramid salt. Pharaoh, black Pharaoh, black salt, pyramid from Cyprus. I didn't even know there's a pyramid in Cyprus. But I just got this salt shop I found on internet, and I just asked them to send me the best salts they have, a combination. They sent me all these salts, and that's what we're trying. Mostly you will see white or pink Ormus. White and pink Ormus is white with regular sea salt and pink with Himalaya salt. I'm at 9.92 now. That means really milliliter per milliliter now. And I jump to 10. But believe us when we tell you that this is the best ORMUS and that we know what we're doing because we do it for a long time. We studied a lot about it and we tried it and we gave it to many people, and I don't want to tell you this magical stories about, oh, we cured cancer. We gave it to people with different problems and it helps. Okay, stabilized at 10, so I think it's maybe my last syringe. Jumps now between 10.5 and 10.2. So that's the breaking point where it starts dissolving things now. So now we really got to be careful because with one drop it can go from 10.08 to 10.40. And it did. 10.08 and now it's 10.25. Also not so much how it fluctuates. I mean, it does fluctuate up and down a little bit, but it's also the first year touches the pH meter, shows a high indication, then I stir it more, I get more dissolved, and the pH goes down again. No magic. But what is what I just said, you put the beer in there and it touches the pH meter and it goes up for a moment. This moment, you don't want to exceed 10.78. Not even this moment, not even by passing by, they're going down a bit. You don't want it that high. pH has to be under 10.78. At all times. See, we're at 10.54 now. 10.54. I'm really putting drops in now. Sorry for taking your time, but this is really the fine tuning and it's important. I love it at 10.7. 10.6 is a breaking point, 10.78 is a maximum, a little bit above 10.6. So now we got 10.62, which is fine. I will add a little bit more, I think. And I want to make sure it's totally evenly dissolved in our ORMUS. Keep in mind, at 10.6, the mineral will break out, the atomic stage is changed, and all the good stuff comes out of our minerals. And that's all you need. But because I take into consideration that even after calibration it may be off 0.023 or something, what if it is 5, what if it shows me 10.6 and it's only 10.57? Then I didn't break my minerals, right? So that's why I go to 10.7. Make sure I'm good. See, before I show you 10.6, I think, 10.61. Now it's still better and it's 10.66. 10.65. I'm gonna put one more drop. Rest there. At a high peak of 1.72. Stabilizing that will be, I think, 10.8. 0.67. So with this drop I got up 0.01 with two drops. So I'm gonna put another 2 drops in there. Really drops. 1, 2 drops. Before I was pouring 250 milliliters in it, and I'm putting drops. And I'm gonna stop here, see how it comes out. And we're almost there. Like I said, follow the basic steps. Use good salt, use good water, the best water you can find. The cost is not so high, so don't save on a little bit cheaper salt or a little bit cheaper water. Get the best water you find. Get the best salt you find. I mean, they sell little bottles like this for $35–40 on the internet, euros or dollars. And this thing costs less. Don't be fooled. You can also buy it from me if you want to, but no. I usually give it away. I help a lot of people with it, and sometimes people, not when they take it, but after they really see difference and they feel better and they are amazed about Ormus, then I let them give me, I don't want to call donation, they give a little, because it has expense, the thing, you know. And in order so I can keep helping people, something comes back a little bit. But the main idea is to make as much Ormus as I can and to give it to as many people possible to help them. This brings the immune system up to amazing levels. And where do we need the immune system now in these days? Yes, I know the video is fresh, we're in the middle of the corona pandemic. So now I'm making lots of Ormus and I give it to many people. See how low I'm stirring now? It went down to 10.67. It's stabilized there. Shall I do another drop? What do you think? High peak of 10.73, so we're in the limits, which will go down again. Exactly. So even if, I mean, a pH meter after calibration is never more often 0.0234 something. If my pH meter is totally off now, like 10.05, like half, 10.05, I'm still safe. Because if it shows 0.05 too much, that means my Ormus is 10.65. It's good, I'm in. If my pH meter shows 0.05 too little, that means I have 10.75. Good again, I'm in. See, those are some variables you may keep in mind. Because the only technological thing you count on is the pH meter. Okay, I'm good. Stabilized at 10.7. Ormus is very sensitive to electromagnetic fields, EMS in general. Keep it away from electricity, keep it away from plugs, keep it away from your phone, from anything electric as you can. How do you shield it now? Okay. We close it, the lid. Then, how do we shield it? The lier remains an unpleasant thing and should be always handled with care. We shield it with aluminium. The Ormus should never to be touched, the aluminium. Any kind of material you use should be glass or plastic that can resist, like good quality plastic. But stay away from plastic, basically. Glass. You should not have it in touch with aluminium pans, only metal. Galvanized steel or glass. Galvanized steel or glass are the two appliances you may use. If you use sea salt, or for any other reason you must heat the water or cook it, don't use electricity. Get yourself a cheap gas burner or something and do it with that. Electricity is bad for Ormus. So nothing that is being used with Ormus should be electrical. The only thing we must use, unfortunately, is the pH meter, which has a tiny little battery in it, and okay, we're safe. But it's really the only thing we use with electricity. So keep it away from electricity in any way. Use only glass and galvanized steel for everything used. Now this will not touch the Ormus, but aluminium is an ideal shield to protect from EMS. That's why we made this from silver paper, these hats when we were children, to protect us from alien influence, right? Aluminium is really the best thing now to protect it. The bad things, the three main bad things for Ormus are negative energy, no cursing around Ormus production, no bad feelings, not thinking I'm going to get rich from this, I'm going to make money from this. Pure, clean, good thoughts, good state of mind, very important for making Ormus. Being positive, being good, and be a good person in general. Good people make it in life. The other ones have temporary happiness and will not succeed. I'm doing this because after I want to make like a hat from it, which I can reuse, put it back on afterwards. So this goes all the way down, and then I want to put another cap on top. One is bad energy. Stay away from bad energy. Number two is electrical fields of any kind. Don't store it around plugs, electricity boxes, I don't know, anything. Keep it away from any kind of electricity current. And UV is also not very good. Direct sunlight is also not very good for your Ormus. Store it at some symbols that attract positive energy. Put around it some, I don't know, as I said, maybe some diamonds if you have, maybe some crystals. Build it nicely around, put some icons if you want to, put anything that gives you personally, because this Ormus is for you, that gives you personally good energy. So if you have an icon of Jesus that you look at and you feel the warmth in you, put this icon next to it. Put anything that attracts to you belief, put a Buddha next to it, put whatever you want. Whatever feels good for you, whatever pulls the energy that you want. Like I said, Ormus is zero energy and gets filled with the energy of the surrounding. The ideal thing would be to put this glass now in a metal box, like maybe from where they have the bullets in from the military or whatever. We used to have in the army. To put it in a metal box, close it, and it's shield against EMS better. What I do, I put it in a closet, in a dark room, in a room I don't use, with the shades down. I put it in the closet, covered as it is, and there I put my energy fields around. I put it on my flower of life. I put my crystals around, and I let it settle. So I will let it settle until tomorrow morning. I will wash it 3 times only, and then I'm going to have a wonderful Ormus. So, my email is Kafo, K-A-F-O, Kilo Alpha Ferdinand Otto, at Outlook, I have to spell Outlook.com. You can write me any question you have, I will answer you personally to everybody. Like I said, I'm doing this together with my good friend Kenzo. He's actually the one who got me into Ormus. Very spiritual, very wise and smart person. His Facebook site is Kenzo Santo. Capital K, Echo, November, Zulu, Oscar, Kenzo, Santo, big S, Alpha, November, Tango, Oscar. And my Facebook, I'm not so much a fan of Facebook, is all-round life coach. So I'm here for you guys. I may add later or not the result of the Ormus, because I really want, I never did a black Ormus. And I wonder how it's going to be separate, so I will at least take pictures and add it onto this video so you can see the final result. Be good people.